Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. Hope you're having a great day out there. I don't mean to make this worse, but the CARES Act is expiring this week. Actually, when I'm recording this, we may have a new stimulus. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But the CARES Act in its original form actually expires at the end of July. What does that mean? Well, it means a lot of different things. Number one, we're going to need some kind of new stimulus or some sort of new path forward, given that the virus is still out there and not helping anybody. But look, here's the thing. We're going to talk about student loans today because you may have noticed that you haven't made student loan payments in a while. The CARES Act actually postponed federal student loans. Private student loans could be postponed as well. Most of them did from what I'm hearing out there. But your federal student loans, even though the CARE Act expires this month, they are not, you don't have to start making payments again until the end of September. So September 30th, you'll actually really start in October. And so that's one thing to consider. So either way, the clock's ticking here. You got August, September. You got 2 months left to go. What I would suggest is, number one, if you have federal student loans, know that the interest is not accruing. It's just a flat pause, kind of like what Denmark did to their economy during the virus. But your student loans have just paused. No interest accruing. It's just going to pretend like there's this black hole of time from March to September that just didn't exist, and you'll just pick things back up in October. If you have private student loans, probably not the case. Those, I don't think they're going to be delaying the interest there. They may offer some other ideas as far as pushing out payments a little bit further. However, the interest is likely still accruing on those, although it's probably not all that much anyways in just that short time period, depending on how much you have, of course. So here's the thing. Should you be making student loan payments even though you're not required to? And this is a tough one, right? So I've thought about this in a couple different ways, and I think this largely depends on the individual. So I want to kind of present a scenario to you, and you take it with how the world has affected you. How I would view this, if I were someone who was affected by the virus financially, it's highly likely that I would have dipped into my emergency savings. Thankfully, if I had student loans, I wouldn't be required to pay them. I would hope they were federal student loans and the interest wasn't accruing. Now, since I know I've got 2 months left to go, generally speaking, jobs are coming back, people are getting back to work, and if I was in that camp, I would not start paying my federal student loans right away. What I would do is say, I've got about 2 months, give or take, to start replenishing my emergency savings. In fact, I would just stop everything else, try to get that emergency savings up, because I just had it fresh in my head how important it was to have that emergency savings, and I was glad to have it if I was in that position. So that's what I would do. Now, this is personal to you. You may say, it doesn't make any sense. I've got enough savings there. I'm going to start paying on my loans. You certainly can. But it's just one way that I wanted to present it. This is a quick series that we do. We call it Fin Tips, so it's just a real quick, short video series. But one might consider filling back up their emergency funds if you're getting back to work and everything's sort of getting back to normal, or maybe you were already back to work or whatever. If you have a private student loan and the interest is accruing, that's a little tougher decision to make, right? Because there's the argument from a net balance sheet perspective, like a personal balance sheet perspective, that you are paying down debt that costs you money versus saving it in an account where you're not getting anything, right? Interest rates are next to nothing, so you're not really getting paid anything, but you're paying something for those private student loans. So in that case, what I would do is I would look at your individual job. Do you have a job in a type of industry such as healthcare where you pretty much could go back to work somewhere else, find work wherever you have to if things go rough? If that's the case, yeah, go for the student loans. I'd start paying them off. You have nothing to worry about. If you're in like construction or hospitality or something, that's a different one, right? Because you may need that money over there. We certainly don't want to get into a position where we're taking money out of 401ks and things like that. So I would lean more towards putting money in the emergency savings and just sacrifice the dollars in interest that you would have to pay for the comfort of having cash in your pocket. Where do you stand? I hope you weren't affected by the virus much at all and you're actually just still plowing away. What's interesting is from all of our clients and all the phone calls that we've had, it's one way or the other. Nobody was right down the middle through the virus where they were like, yeah, it was like, yeah, all right, I had some tough times, some good times, all in all, I'm fine. It was either you were affected or you were not affected. I very rarely had a call with somebody that said, that's what it is, Let's hope that that was either you or you were one that made it through just fine. Anyways, I wish you a good Friday. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Just a quick one here to try to help you out with something different. Get you thinking, right? Just always thinking about your dough in any way you can. And I hope that you're able to get your dough straight again. We can get back to life in 2021 and just forget this whole year ever happened. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.